Okay, so today our goal is to complete unit activity from unit 5, that is periodic motion. Okay, and then here is the plan. So at first we'll go through unit activity for 20 minutes, and the rest of the 20 minutes I'll give you time to work on this unit activity by yourself. And then you can ask me question if you have any questions from your courseware as well. The objective or goal of this unit activity is to use real world data captured on video. So we'll use video analysis tool and then make observation, analyze that data and communicate that result in written form. That is the goal of this unit activity. And then in this unit activity, so we have just started, let me go back, unit 5 unit activity, that is periodic motion. Okay, then we have already went through objective. And then in this unit activity you can see a cart, that cart with a spring, and then it goes back and forth. Okay, and then we'll use a tracker experiment and use that tracker and then collect data, make a graph, or make our own dynamic model, and then interpret our result based on the data and graph. You can see here evaluation. So your goal is to complete task 1 as much as you can, and then submit your unit activity. So as long as you complete your task 1 in your own, and then even if you do like little bit wrong, then you'll get a full credit. Okay, no need to worry about doing everything correctly. So task 1 is modeling damped harmonic motion. At first, let me describe little bit about damped harmonic motion. So think about you jumping on the trampoline. Okay, so whenever we jump on a trampoline, in the beginning the amplitude is more, so it goes back and forth more, and certainly that amplitude gradually decreases and vanish at the end. So that type of motion is called damped harmonic motion. Its amplitude decreases over the period of time. And in generally there are two types of model. One is analytical model and another is dynamic model. And then here today we'll create our own dynamic model. So, and all the instructions are provided here, but we'll go through it slowly. Okay, so to build our own dynamic model, at first you will click on that tracker experiment, and it says here, you can see here, spring wars model, and there are different button here. So this one you'll click to watch video, other buttons to rewind, forward and backward as well. So let me click on that tracker experiment. Okay, click on the tracker experiment, and then if you have any question, please feel free to unmute and ask me that question. Okay, so you can see here, video, and then graph, table, and then this one is also graph. If I click on that play button, we can see here that cards moves forward and comes backward, and after certain times it stops. That means its amplitude gradually decreases and stops. Now let's go back. You have seen the motion of mass on a spring where the motion is largely undamped, that it continues for a very long time. at about the same amplitude. And there are two common ways to slow down an object in harmonic motion. In our case, there are two types of force that will slow down our motion. First one is force due to friction or kinetic friction. And second one is due to force due to spring damping. Okay. And the dynamic model is already started for you in this file. And then you can follow those steps to create your own model. First step, select the point mass model. You will click on that blue pull down control in the top menu and then click on your model. After that, you will click on your model builder. Okay. After that, you have to fill out the basic information about this motion. For time, you will use time is equal to 0.00 seconds. That is initial value of your time. After that, enter the data in each of three sections: parameter, initial value, and force function. Let's start with parameters. For parameters, you will fill out, set your values for mass, spring constant K, and coefficient of kinetic friction Mk. Initial values, you will enter the data and apply to that in X direction. Those data are T, X, and Bx. Time, position, and horizontal velocity. And force function, you'll use two types of force: spring force and force due to friction. Okay. And add new force of function f of s, that is spring force, and another one as frictional force. And the formula to calculate frictional force is given for you. Okay. There are so many steps, so let's do it slowly. Okay. And then enter all those information on the table. Go back. Okay. So at first you have to click on that pull down menu like that. Click on model. After that, first pull down, click on model, click on that model, and then model builder. So I just want to make sure that you are following me. Give me a thumbs up, or you can unmute and speak with me if you are following me, or just write yes in your chat box as well. Okay. And now let's fill out this table. So mass is 0.25 kg. Other two parameters are spring constant K and coefficient of friction Mk. So let me add those two. One is K, another is Mk. And then we'll write that value at the end, okay? Let's start with P. Initial value of time is 0 second. We'll start with 0 second. At 0 second, X is 0.198. Y, since our motion is along X direction, so Y and By are 0. Let's look to Bx and then let's find that value. Bx is negative 0.09. Okay, negative Bx is, Y is 0, sorry. And Bx is negative 0.09. Okay, Bx is negative 0.09. And then force is force, F of X is force in X direction. Those are force due to spring. Sorry. F of S, Fs plus force due to friction, that is F of F. Okay. And after that, we have to add those forces. Let's start with F of S. That force due to spring is negative K times X. K is spring constant and X is either elongation or compression, or simply think as displacement. And then force, another force is force due to friction, F of F. That is negative mk, that is coefficient of friction, times mass times acceleration of gravity 9.8 times, in our case, velocity of x divided by absolute velocity of bx. So that is the expression for frictional force. Let me enter. Let me use those value. K is, let's use K as 2.91. You can play around those value. And MK is around 0.01. And then let's see what's true. Now let's separate those. Space here, maybe that's the reason. Yep. So after once you put all those information on this table or model, you can save and close. Now you can see our dynamic model. It was already there. We just use those parameters. We just fill out those parameters, initial value and expression for force to set up our model. Now let me play. So we can see that in the beginning, our model collides with the exact model. And then after certain time, our model leads little bit to the actual model, or actual model lags to our model. Okay, it's a little bit behind. And then let's calculate time period. So time period is defined as the time in which the object completes one oscillation. That means, let's see, click on that one. So in the beginning, object is here, it goes forward, and then again it comes back at the same spot. Okay, start from here and then came back to the same spot here. Okay, that time is the time interval in which it completes one oscillation is called time period. We can see here it's around 1.8 seconds. So it begins with 0 second, and then in 1.8 second it completes one oscillation. That means time period is around 1.8 seconds. I know this is a lot of information. I'm not sure you are following me or not. Please give me a thumbs up if you are following me. Or if you have any question, please unmute and ask me that question, or write your question in chat. Okay. So this is unit 5, unit activity. Okay, periodic motion. Now let's go back to our unit activity. First part is calculate the spring constant. So we already know the value of time period, that is around 1.8 second. We'll plug in that value, plug in the value of m, that is 0.25 kg, and calculate k. So here is the sample response. You can see t is around 1.83 second. Mass is 0.25 kilogram. And using algebra, we can define k is equal to 4 pi square m over t square. Substitute those values and calculate spring constant. That is around 2.9 kg per second square. Okay. So I'll pause here for some time. If you have any question, please let me know. Now in part B, we have to complete this table, and this table is, and then you can write all those values from your model builder. Okay, let's go back here. So those values mk, you can see all those values. You can just copy and paste those values here. Let's look a sample response. Parameter m is 0.25 kg. That is the mass of that object. Parameter k is spring constant 2.95. Mk is coefficient of kinetic friction 0.01. Initial value of time is 0. Initial value of position is 0.198. And then initial value of horizontal velocity is negative 0.09. And then we do have an expression for force along x direction, and force due to spring, force due to friction, kinetic friction. This is all about part B. Now let's go to part C. Part C, I'll give you some time to think about part C, okay? The question is, describe how your model works compared to the actual spring motion. So we made our own dynamic model. Now we have to compare that with actual spring motion. When are they close? When are they are not so close? Okay. Now let me go back and play that video again. You can think about it from the beginning. Okay, we can see that in the beginning, our model coincide with the actual model, but later our model lags with the actual model, lags behind actual model. So here is the sample response. And your response can be different, okay, depending upon your own model. Now let's go to part D. Now in part D, now that you have had some experience with damped harmonic motion, describe two different real harmonic motion you have seen, one with very little damping and other with noticeable damping. Describe how those two motions differ and are the same. Okay. So think about one with very little damping. That means its amplitude over the period of time does not decrease that much. Another one, its amplitude over the period of time decreases more. Let me make those diagram, okay? And then think about this question, okay? So more, first one is, let us suppose more damping, okay? So it can be like that. So you can see there, it's gradually decreasing and amplitude nearly vanishes. And another one is less damping or very little damping. That is, its motion can be like that. It does not need to be exact. But you can see that its amplitude is not decreasing that much, or it stays fairly same. Think about part D and try and answer this question through the chat, okay? I'll wait for some time. Just give me two examples, okay? One with more damping or noticeable damping, and then another one is with very little damping. Let me erase that, and then we'll look to our sample response. Innovate, clear. Hmm. So at first, let's start with noticeable damping harmonic motion. So let us suppose if you jump in a trampoline, okay? So in the beginning, the amplitude is more like that, up and down, and then gradually its amplitude decreases. So that kind of motion is damped harmonic motion. So you can think about jumping in a trampoline. And then little damping motion. Let me think about example where we can see little damping. Think about simple pendulum. Okay. So let me draw that diagram for simple pendulum. So if you hang an object through a fixed uh, ceiling or something like that, and then if you apply certain force, it swings back and forth like that, like that. And over the period of time, its amplitude decreases, but not that much. So if you plot a graph, amplitude might be like that, and it goes for a longer period of time. Okay. So that kind of motion is uh, harmonic motion, but it's less damped or little damped. Now we have completed part D as well. Let me erase that. It's okay. Now after completing task 1, you don't have to complete task 2. You can skip that part and finalize your assignment and submit for grading. Okay. Now let's do one thing. While you are here, we still have around 15 minutes. While you are here, try to complete your unit activity from unit 5 and submit it. Okay. I'll stop sharing. You keep working on your courseware. Okay. And I'll check both of your work in your courseware. And then if I need to talk with you, I'll talk with you. Okay. Okay. Let me check. Leslie, keep working. Okay. Keep working on your courseware. Let me check your work. Let me see. Okay, so Leslie, I think let's do one thing. Complete your unit activity for kinematics 1, okay? And then let's do one thing here. Leslie, can you unmute? So I have seen that you are still in unit 1. So you have to complete this course by December 18. So how are you planning to complete everything in time? So I'm worried about you. Okay, that's fine. Do you know how to assess all my videos? You can complete unit activity really quick. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's try to complete your unit activity for unit 1 right now, and then you can submit it. Okay, and then if you have any question, write through the chat. It's fine. Okay, thank you very much. And then for your reference, if you need, let me share that again with you. Let me share this one again with you. Okay, so using that Google document, you can access all my videos. Okay, and then you only have to complete task 1. Complete task 1 and then keep moving. Okay. Leslie, if you have any question when you complete your unit activity, let me know, okay? And you can use that video tutorial. And please let me know if you can open and figure it out from that video tutorial or not. Um, if you want to leave and keep working, that's fine, okay? You can do like that. But make sure to complete that unit activity today, okay? Are you able to, did you find that video tutorial? Okay, okay, that's fine. Then you can leave and make sure to complete it today. Okay, okay, thank you.